Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome your host from Theme Park Guide Productions, Zachary Burlau.
Hello friends, welcome to a new video here from Theme Park Guide Productions. Today is a pretty big video. Today I'm going to be talking about the theme parks that I'll be getting to experience this year. So 2025, or as I'm calling it, the quote-unquote epic year. So 2025 is now upon us. Today is March 4th is when I'm filming this. It's about to actually be March 5th, believe it or not. Which, today is when I'm filming it, is now the 8-year anniversary of Theme Park Guide Productions, so happy birthday to the channel! Yeah, so in today's video, I'll be kind of talking about all I'll be getting to experience this year, and it's not just the new parks I'll be visiting, but also getting to talk about some of the stuff that we're getting here locally. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, let's talk about what we're getting locally here. So, we got one big thing that we're getting, but let's talk about some of the minor stuff. So, at Walt Disney World, if you guys have noticed, over at Epcot, Test Track did close last summer for a big refurbishment. Well, I'm happy to say that at the end of the summer of 2025, Test Track will be reopening with new theming inspired from the original World of Motion attraction, which Test Track has been one of my favorite attractions at Epcot, and from what I'm hearing, this attraction will be sponsored by General Motors, who sponsored the original attraction from 1999 all the way up to early 2012, and then they renovated it into Test Track 2.0 presented by Chevrolet. And so this version of the attraction I'm really excited to experience. I think it's going to combine the best of both attractions from the original version and the second version. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping for success. I think it's going to be great. And then that's over at Walt Disney World. And then over at SeaWorld Orlando, they're getting a new Flying Theater attraction, which is the replacement for the, if you guys remember, Wild Arctic, which was a simulator attraction, kind of taking you through the Arctic. This attraction is going to be a Flying Theater. It's taking you through the Arctic as well. And this attraction should be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is very comparable to attractions like Soarin' around the world or Soarin' over California if you're a true OG Disney fan. So I think this one will be pretty cool. It's going to be a great replacement, especially since I think the Wild Arctic exhibit itself is one of the most underrated exhibits in all of SeaWorld. And then you get to Busch Gardens Tampa, which Busch Gardens Tampa is getting Wild Oasis, which is a renovation of the original Jungala area. If you guys remember Jungala, it was a kids area that opened around 2008, and it still exists, but it's been on the decline. So Busch Gardens Tampa has been renovating the area to make it look a lot more fresh. Kind of similar to what they did when Penguin Trek opened at SeaWorld back in last year. That area was kind of forgotten about, and then they went ahead and gave it a huge refresh, and it looks fantastic. And so the big thing that we're getting here in Orlando, of course, is something epic. And what am I talking about that's something epic? Well, as you can imagine, we're getting a brand new theme park. And that it goes to the parks that I'll be visiting this year. Of course, the first park that I'm going to, obviously, is Universal's Epic Universe, which pass holder previews have not been announced yet. I'm still waiting, scrolling, trying to figure out when the heck are they going to start pass holder previews. But I'm very confident that this park is going to go well. And I do have tickets for this park. I'm going around opening month, so that should be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to experience all the different attractions here at this park. I mean, at Celestial Park, you got Stardust Racers, which is a dueling mock launch coaster. Looks super cool. And then at How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, you've got the Hiccups Wing Gliders, which is like a little intimate family coaster. Then you got Flat Ride over there. And then over at Super Nintendo World, obviously, that area exists over in California, but they're bringing it in Orlando. And you've got some great attractions here. You've got the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, which does exist over in California. So it'll be cool getting to get that attraction here. And then you've got the Donkey Kong Mario Kart Madness, which also exists already over in Japan. So if you guys want to know what that ride's like, just watch a video from the ride in Japan. I'm sure it's going to be the same thing. And then you've got Yoshi's Adventure, obviously. And then over in Dark Universe, which I'm pretty excited for, Dark Universe. They've got a couple attractions over there. The one that everybody's been hyping about is Monsters Unchained, which is a dark ride. Very similar to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey from what I've heard. Again, I don't know anything. I am going to this park completely blind, and I'm going to be trying to avoid spoilers as much as I can. And then, of course, you got Curse of Werewolf, which is like a little spinning roller coaster. It looks pretty cool. But the biggest groundbreaking ride from this park is obviously over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter or Mystery and Magic. And that, of course, is going to be Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry, which is apparently a first of its kind dark ride we have never seen before. And we've seen pictures of concept art of the attraction, and it looks kind of like a combo of Tower Terror and Star Tours in a way, if you could kind of combine them both. I don't know, that's just what I thought. But that attraction looks absolutely insane. I've heard that is probably going to be the greatest dark ride of all time. We'll have to wait and see. My favorite dark ride of all time is either Indiana Jones or Rise of the Resistance, one of the two. It concludes all of the stuff they'll be getting to see here locally, and of course they'll probably check out some of the different events here this year. I've already checked out Festival of the Arts, Seven Seas Food Festival, and Mardi Gras, obviously. And then of course you've got Flower and Garden Festival, which is coming out pretty soon. I think it actually starts today is when I'm filming this. Food and Wine. I might try to go Jollywood this year. H2O Glow Nights. Of course, Halloween Horror Nights. That's like the big one. Universal Holidays. Howl-O-Scream, SeaWorld Summer Celebration, SeaWorld's Christmas Celebration. Of course, at Busch Gardens, they got their summer night. So we'll get to check out some of those events too. But now, let's talk about the parks I'm going to this year. So the city that I'll be visiting this year is a city that I have visited in the past. And for reference on the cities I visited last year, I visited San Antonio, Texas, which is one of the best cities I've visited too. Which city might you ask? Well, I'm going to be going back to the beautiful city of Los Angeles, which I did go here in 2021, and I'm excited to go back here. It's probably of the cities I've traveled to, it was phenomenal. But let's go ahead and talk about the parks I'll be visiting. So, there are technically 2 parks that I'll be returning to this year. One park that is confirmed I'll be going to, and then the second park, I'm trying to work it out, but I think I'm able to make it work. So, let's go ahead and talk about the first park that I'll be visiting. So, we're going to just do this, what I've done in years past. You're probably going to guess it right off the bat. I'm sure if you're a big coaster nerd or a theme park enthusiast, you'll probably guess it right off the bat. But if you haven't, then stay tuned because this game gets fun. All right, so the first park I'll be visiting, it's not just one park. It's 2. 1 gate for 2 parks. The second hint, one of those parks is themed to the state of Los Angeles, like the state where Los Angeles is located. And the third hint, it is kind of a second home for me technically. What park might I be visiting first? Drumroll please. We're going back to Disneyland Resort, which this park, or these 2 parks, I visited back in 2021. I was a lot younger then. And fun fact, I actually had just started with Disney World at the time. And so getting to visit the original Disneyland was truly a special experience. And I'm super excited to go back to Disneyland and California Adventure. We'll be going to both parks because it's kind of like a resort. It's like Universal Orlando, where you have 1 gate for 2 parks. It's like Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios in a way. But Disneyland, from when I visited here 4 years ago, I still stand by that is the greatest park that I've ever visited of all time. Like, just the nostalgia and the stacked lineup of attractions is just out of this world. And they do have a couple new rides that I'm excited to experience. I know they just added a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway attraction, so hopefully we'll be able to experience that. We have that here at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it's one of my personal favorite dark rides. And of course, they redid Splash Mountain and changed it into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which I have experienced the one here in Florida, and I really like it. And so I'm excited to see what it's like over in California. I rode the original Splash Mountain in California, and that thing got me absolutely drenched. So drenched to the point my phone was destroyed after. If you remember that video, you remember. But I'm also excited to go back on some amazing attractions like Indiana Jones, Space Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Matterhorn bobsleds, Big Thunder Mountain. There's a lot of different attractions that I'm really looking forward to go on at Disneyland, and it's going to be a magical day. Going back to the happiest place on earth, is something you always have to do when you go to Los Angeles. And then you've got California Adventure as well, which California Adventure, I didn't spend as much time at this park when I went in 2021, so there were some attractions I missed. The main one being Grizzly River Run, which is just like your typical River Rapids ride, but you know, it's still gotta ride it because it's pretty unique. But other than that, I'm excited to get back on some other attractions like Radiator Springs Racers, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, Incredicoaster, Web Slingers, and that crazy demented Ferris wheel. I can't even remember the name of that Ferris wheel. Whatever that is was absolutely insanity, and I just want to go back on it again. So that is kind of Disneyland right there. I'm excited to get back over here. Let's just go ahead and move on. So the next park that I'll be talking about is confirmed. The one that, well, not confirmed yet, we'll save for last. So this park in particular, let's get started. So first hint is this park has significant historic value. This is a very historic park. So think about that, history. The second hint, it has a real live ghost town. Think about that, a real live ghost town. And the last hint, they offer a well-known type of berry, a well-known type of food product. Think of Hershey Park. Hershey Park and their chocolate. This is them with berries. Okay, it's a stupid hint, but let's go ahead and reveal what it is. Drum roll, please. The next park I'll be going to is Knott's Berry Farm. Yes, I'm going to be going to Knott's Berry Farm for my first time this season. And this park has a lot of historical value. I believe they say it up front in the entrance. It was America's first ever theme park. Like Disneyland was like the one that started it all, but Knott's Berry Farm has significant historic value. And not only that, but this park does have a real working ghost town. And then when I say the berries, I'm talking about the boysenberries, which are very iconic for Knott's Berry Farm. I know in your local grocery store, they might have Knott's Berry Farm products there. I think they do. If I'm wrong, then roast me in the comments, whatever. But outside of that, there are a good amount of roller coasters at this park that I'm really looking forward to experience. The main one obviously is Ghost Rider, which a lot of my friends have told me that that is the single greatest wooden roller coaster of all time. I'm not joking. Some people are like, oh yeah, that's my number one coaster. I'm like, seriously? My number one wooden coaster right now is El Toro over at Six Flags Great Adventure, but I'm excited to give Ghost Rider a try. And then they've got Accelerator, which I think was the first ever intimate hydraulic launch coaster ever built, which I heard the acceleration on that is nuts. So I'm excited to experience Accelerator. Hang Time is a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. I've never experienced one of these before, so this will be a nice coaster to experience. You got B&M Invert and Silver Bullet. You also got Sierra Sidewinder, Pony Express, Jaguar, and you got a ton of other great attractions here at Knott's Berry Farm. But why I'm so excited to experience this park is that, unlike the other Six Flags Entertainment Corporation parks, this one is more of a theme park. So you've got like a whole theme throughout your entire experience versus like if you go to your typical Six Flags park, let's say Six Flags Great Adventure, which is more of an amusement park, just for reference. And so I'm really looking forward to experience Knott's Berry Farm. This park looks fantastic. And so that is that. And now we're moving on to the final park. And the final park is not 100% confirmed. So this may not happen, but I'm trying to work on it. So, with the last park, let's go over the 3 hints though. So, the first hint is this park is surrounded around mountains, around multiple mountains. Second hint, this park was known as Wally World in National Lampoon's Vacation movie. If you're a movie buff, you probably have already figured out which park I'm talking about anyways. And then the third hint, this park has the most roller coasters of any park in the world. So what might that final park be? Well, let's go ahead and give a little drum roll. So the final park that I might be visiting, or I'm confident I'll be visiting this year, is Six Flags Magic Mountain. So yeah, Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but I'm trying to make something work to where I'm able to visit Six Flags Magic Mountain. This park it's close to Los Angeles. It's about maybe like 20 miles away from Los Angeles. It's located in Valencia, California, which is right by Santa Clarita. And this park is record-breaking. This park has the most roller coasters of any park in the world, a lot like Cedar Point. And there is a lot of bucket list roller coasters that I really want to experience in this park. Like the main one, obviously, X2. Everybody has told me that X2 might just be the most intense roller coaster of all time. I'm not joking. And I've been on rides like I-305, Sky Rush, Iron Gwazi, and those I think are some of the most intense I've ever done. But X2, man, that thing looks demented. So I'm excited to experience it if I'm able to go over there. And they've got another RMC with Twisted Colossus, which was a redo of the old Colossus from the Wally World movie. I can't remember what the ride was called in Vacation, but yeah, Twisted Colossus looks really cool. They got Tatsu, which is a B&M flyer, and I've said for many years, man, this is my favorite flying coaster, so we'll see how Tatsu does. And they got Wonder Woman Fly of Courage, which is an RMC single rail. A lot of people really like Wonder Woman Fly of Courage. You got Full Throttle, which is a premier launch coaster, and that one actually had the world's largest vertical loop at the time of its opening. You've got Goliath, which is also a pretty iconic coaster. Riddler's Revenge, which a lot of people consider the greatest stand-up of all time. West Coast Racers, a fun racing Premier Rides coaster. You got Apocalypse, which is a GCI, and Vipers, the last aero mega looper in existence. You've got Scream, which is like a B&M Flores coaster, very similar to Medusa from Great Venture. You got your Batman clone. And there's just a lot of roller coasters. And also the New Revolution, which was the first roller coaster in the East Coast to have a loop. And you've got like Ninja and Bill Rusher. There's so many roller coasters at this park. Six Flags Magic Mountain is not technically roller coaster capital of the world because Cedar Point holds that title, but Magic Mountain could be classified as that. And so it's not official yet. I'm going to try to make something work out for Six Flags Magic Mountain. And so that is that, and that is my conclusion for the 2025 season. And I'm not going to be revealing dates and stuff like that, but I'm really looking forward to this year. I think this year is going to be absolutely epic because of Epic Universe. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun this season. We've got a lot of great parks that I'm visiting, a lot of new roller coasters I'm getting to experience this year, and overall, it's going to be an awesome year. I could already sense 2025 is going to be a huge year. And without further ado, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe as well for more videos in the future if you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you guys know when I upload a new video. And as always, don't forget to check out Theme Park Guide Productions as well on all social media platforms. Linktree will be in the description below. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, you're clear for dispatch.